So today is day 10 of my water fast. I've spent the last 2 or 3 days. I had a couple of periods of sort of elation and energy. I even went to the beach yesterday. But for the most part, I really hit some exhaustion, which has happened to me before. My very first fast, which was years ago now, 7 years ago or something, I had the same experience. At different periods, I get waves of exhaustion and elation and energy. I remember one time I was like bouncing around the house about 20 days or 25 days into a water fast. And at the same time, I would get so exhausted, I just couldn't move practically. I was still happy. Got a truck going behind me there. I was still happy. I wasn't even blissful, kind of a gentle, blissful energy, but I was very weak and just stayed in bed quite a lot over the last 3 days. So, interesting. I watched, one subject that I thought we could talk about today is breaking the fast. I'm not breaking the fast today, but I watched a video on a channel called The Vegetable Police. It's a young guy, he's super charismatic, super funny, and he did a 21-day water fast. I think he's somewhat of a student, or at least has been, of Dr. Robert Morse, who's kind of famous naturopath, raw foodist, or at least promoting raw food and things, and herbs. So anyway, this young fellow on The Vegetable Police, he just did a 21-day water fast, and he broke it with an egg and straight to the emergency room. So basically there is a consistent pattern in people who teach and practice extended water fasts that you break it very gently. So, for example, TrueNorthHealth, Dr. Klaper, Dr. Goldhammer, if you do an extended fast, like 21 days, they'll do juice for 1 or 2 days, usually low GI green juice. And even that, you're not just like sculling a liter or two. You're drinking a bit, take perhaps a liter over a couple hours, and in my experience, that is a nectarian day. It is just, the sugar comes in and you're just like, wow, and the sweet taste, it's just a beautiful celestial experience. Then the next day they may introduce some watermelon, something like this. And then the third day they start bringing in some other things. Say Lauren Lockwood at Tanglewood, he breaks it with watermelon, but very tiny amounts. So you might have a very tiny amount of watermelon, a few hours later, another bit like that. And gradually you bring the whole system back online with very sort of high water content, either juices, obviously, or something like watermelon. Doug Graham used to do watermelon. Anyway, you get the idea. Not an egg. Bad idea. Don't jump. And although I've done it a couple of times, one time at the end of a fast, this was my second fast that I ever did, I used to get anxiety. And I think it was almost like a healing crisis. Like it's almost like a panic attack. So much anxiety would come up and then it would fade. And then all this anxiety for no particular reason. And of course, the impetus when you're in any kind of discomfort is to not be in discomfort. You want to soothe that discomfort. You want to comfort the anxiety. So, this was early days, and I didn't really understand everything at that point. I still don't, obviously, but I understood less then. And at a certain point, this was only like a 7-day, and I think I broke it on the 6th day or something like that. But I had all this anxiety and panic come up, and I just went to food straight away. And what was easily available to me was baked potatoes. So I was worried, I'd watched YouTube and read books and things, so I was concerned. But I took like a very small portion and I chewed it really well and really slowly. The problem was it was the nighttime, so I couldn't just go out and buy fruits and juices and things. It's like 10 p.m. at night. And I'd had all this anxiety building, and I just lost my determination. I wanted to soothe that. I didn't want to feel that anymore. So I ate like a small amount, and then I waited, and things, it was a bit kind of, but it wasn't too bad. I chewed it like anything and took it very slow. So then I thought, maybe a little bit more, and ended up with like, that was only 6 days in, but still I got like sort of cramping and stomach ache, and I didn't feel good, and whatever. Went to bed, and okay, lesson learned. No big drama. But if you're 21 days in, or 30 days in, or 40 days in, it can be very serious. The great grandsire of our current sort of fasting in the world, Don Tolman, I know that he used to break it with grape juice, which is high sugar content. So you're going to get like I've done that. I broke one with orange juice. Orange juice it was green juice, but the base was all orange juice. And I drank it, and the sugar, you just like, whoa! Feels amazing, but I don't know if it's the best. These days, for all my last fasts and for this one, I do low GI green juice. So what I mean by that is cucumber, celery. So that's the base, not a apple or orange or something like that. Not a fruit base, a vegetable base, much lower calories. So much less sugar. So celery, cucumber, maybe a tiny hint of ginger, tiny hint of lemon, maybe a lot of kale. I love that juice. It's a juice that I regularly have when I'm not water fasting. I think it might start to rain here. I'll drink that, and just slowly over an hour or two, and then I'll have some watermelon, which again I'll chew slowly and so on. So it's starting to rain. We've got this equipment here.
I want to know how much weight you lost.
Oh, okay. So
for day 10.
All right. So we'll cut this a little bit short. I was going to do some other topics, but the last thing I'll mention is that surprisingly, when I got up this morning, I was 13 kilos down. Now, after I drank a liter of water within the first hour or so, and then I drank another liter a bit later on. And then when I weighed myself, I was just over 94 kilos today. So I started at 105 9 days ago. So even really maxing out how much water that might be, say it's only 11 kilos and then taking another. In my experience, when you end a long fast, for me, within 24 hours of refeeding, I'll put on 3 kilos. And it's not obviously fat. It's just the body's sodium balance adjusts and you hold on to water. And so if you weigh yourself, you're 3 kilos heavier. So there's really 3 kilos which appears to be lost at this point, but is really just a water adjustment from the body. So although I have lost, say, 11, 12 kilos, whatever it is, today, in 9 days, really that's probably 8 kilos in reality, maybe 9. So 8 or 9 kilos in 9 days of real, actual weight loss. So discounting the water, 9 kilos is about 20 pounds. So 20 pounds in 9 days of real weight loss. Actually 26 pounds, but we're discounting that 6 pounds because I'll just put that back on in water weight as soon as I stop the fast. So it's quite amazing. 20 pounds in 9 days of real weight loss. Anyway, I hope that inspires you. And yeah, looks like the rain is starting to pitter-patter here. So I hope you have a wonderful day, my friends. May all good things come to you. It's lovely to come down here and share with you. All the best.